Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the closet. Welcome back to the Christopher Moon Show. And you know what? Today I wanted to talk about some things that I did during my DUIs to kind of help the process along, make it a little easier on myself once I was standing in front of the judge. So for my first one, like, this worked really good. Not so much for the second one, but it still worked for the second one as well, because, you know, the judge is a person. You're a person. They see people all day, and they're used to seeing, like, you know, somebody that doesn't care. They come in with, you know, some thugged out looking clothing, you know, come in looking like they don't care really to be there in front of the judge. And in my opinion, whether you care or not, like, you need to be looking your cleanest, your best. Like, if you got a tie, you know, whatever you can do to make it look like you are invested in this process and that you are remorseful for the you know, the trouble you got yourself into. And once they see that you're at least remorseful and you're trying stuff, you know, that's going to count in your favor. Like, now there's certain things that they can and can't do with the law, like depending on how aggravated your ticket is and, you know, what is attached to that ticket. You may or may not, you know, this may not help. But you know, for the most part, for people that are just, you know, young people out there having fun, you know, we all get to a place in life where, you know, things are good. You're having fun. And once you're going good, things are fun, everything's, you know, the way it should be, you're not thinking about, you know, getting blindsided by a ticket in life that's going to, you know, really knock you out and over onto your butt. But you know, we all got to think about that. As good as it is right now for you, something's coming that's going to knock you on your butt. So for the court, once I'd go in there, the first time, I went to the classes early. I went and I rolled in the alcohol classes. Like, I knew that was going to be in my future. So I figured if I get a head start, like, you know, maybe it'll make a difference. And I don't know if it did, but once I went to court that time, I think it did. Let me tell you a little bit more. Also, I knew for that first one, I'd be doing a little AA meetings. So I went to my local AA and I signed up. You don't really sign up, you just go. But I went and I actually had, you know, a guy in there that was pretty cool, and, you know, he became my sponsor and whatnot, and we were like buddies doing the AA work. But, you know, I didn't get through it. Not at court. Like, court came up fast, you know. In that month that you're waiting to go to court, you know, you're thinking all this stuff. You're thinking, how am I going to get to work? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Because once you get that ticket, it kind of pulls the rug out from underneath you. It pulls that license. It pulls a lot of stuff. And then you're thinking about different things. And most of it, it's just like you're thinking about, oh, shit, like, you know, I'm effed, right? But in that situation, in that moment, that's how you feel. That's how I felt. Like, I don't even want to tell you how I felt. I was not doing good. It was not a fun time. I felt terrible. I'd rather not exist at that time. And looking back on that, that's ridiculous. Like that was, like, utterly ridiculous that I felt so bad for what I had to go through afterwards. And it wasn't like a easy breezy walk in the park or anything. But after those 2 DUIs, it wasn't that bad. It was not that bad. Like, for the second one, I thought I was done. For the first one, I thought I was done. Fuck it. Let's go back to what I was saying. So, with that AA, I set up with my buddy. So, once I went back to court, oh, you know what else I did? I went to my MAD panel. Got that MAD panel. And you know what? I think I didn't wait like exactly a month. I think I went to that first court date that's, a month from the date of your ticket. And I postponed it to the next one to get, my head, my wits about me, my stuff, in a line. Get your poop in a group, right? But I was getting that poop in a group. And it worked out pretty well. I only got like track A, all this like, real easy stuff. I didn't have a breathalyzer in my car for that first one. Did I? Nah, just the second one. But once I came into court on that day, and I was just shaking and scared, this is something too. For that one, I had my family with me. I had my loved ones. And they were there standing behind me. I was wearing my suit and tie. I was looking all scared. I had my stack of papers, and the judge called, and they read all the terrible things that happened that night. In front of my family, in front of my friends, in front of people I didn't know. They read all the dumb stuff I did that night. How drunk I was, how many times over the legal limit I was, all kinds of nonsense. Like, Judge, I know what I did, you know what I did, Everybody knows now. We got a good picture. And they tell you, so Chris, what do you have to say for yourself? How do you plead? And I'd like to plead the fifth and run the hell out of there, but you can't. You got to deal with it. You got to deal with your stuff. Because, like, if you don't deal with a problem once it comes up to you, it's going to multiply. It's going to grow into something different. So, I had to go with it. That's the process. And I said, hey, what did I do? I think I did no contest, which is pretty much guilty, but not in some way. But once she said, what did you do? How do you feel about this? What's your plea? I presented all this stuff, and I said, yeah, I'm pleading this, but I'm so sorry. I was so apologetic. And I said, Your Honor, look, I got my MAD panel out of the way. I've started this community service. I think I did a couple hours at like a Goodwill or something. But that was something I started too. And this was once I was young and like really, really scared. So like, I thought I was going to jail. And you know what they do to a young man in jail. So I didn't want to go. I was like, oh, hell no. But I got a head start on all this. I presented it to her. And the one thing, like everything was really, really good. The best thing was my sponsor was there. And, it just luck so had it that was the same judge that sentenced my sponsor. And my sponsor, I don't know if I've told this before, but he kind of said like, hey, I don't even care about Chris. You changed my life. I've been in AA, now I'm his sponsor, all this stuff. And she looks over at all the good stuff I just did. And like, it really warmed her heart, to see this dude. And he's just like, hey, you know what, I was here to talk about him, but I just want to thank you. And that, that made it so much easier for me. But along with the work that I put in, meeting the dude, going to those AA meetings, learning something, doing the little bit of stuff that I did early, just showing a little initiative, showing a little bit of remorse. I think that was the world of difference. And the first one wasn't that bad. And the second one was really bad. It was really bad for me. Like I was in an accident, like, once you got like 7 cop cars behind you, like, you messed up. But yeah, I was in that accident, I was looking around, I had all these cop cars, it's nighttime, it's dark, I'm drunk, I don't know. It was terrible. Like the whole thing was terrible. I damaged city property, ran into a rail. It was just not good. But I practiced those same things. I promise you, I practiced those same things. Now, I didn't go as far. I didn't go do the community service beforehand or get some little letter. And I didn't go to the MAD panel. But I started the classes again. I started, the process. And it was more of an accepting time for me for this one. But for the second one, I was like super duper scared because I'm like, okay, this is it. This is where I am going to, butt pound in prison and they're going to get me. So I was worried. But that wasn't the case again. That was not the case again. I did these little things and I went to this new judge and I was like, I can't believe this. And it was even within the 5 years that makes you a habitual offender or whatever that word is, where it's within 5 years. So I didn't have that gap, that breath. I had less than 5 years and another DUI. And at this time, you're thinking your job, you're thinking everything. You're thinking all this crazy stuff. And it's really scary. It really sucks. I know it did for me. There's a lot of nights, of tears and stuff and of what am I going to do with my life? What's going to happen next? But it's those what ifs that really messed me up. It wasn't the judge. It wasn't the time I had to do, because I had to do a little bit of time. It wasn't any of that stuff. It wasn't the other inmates that I thought were going to be scary and rough me up in jail. Not even prison, jail. Our conceptions of what we're going to go through is so much more than it really is. It really is. And I got in there for the second one, showed the judge the stuff, but he said, hey, you know what? You're habitual. You're too close to that 5-year thing. You're too close to that first one. So we got to give you the bare minimum for a second DUI. That's right. So I got the bare minimum of everything, because he saw that I was still trying and I was still sorry and remorseful, and that I was just a person that screws up. I'm just a person that screws up, and a person that can't afford to go out and have the vacations, do the crazy stuff that everybody gets to do. My vacation was, it's not anymore. It's not a Red Bull now, but at the time my vacation every weekend was, some Miller Lite or some, Steel Panther, 211, whatever you had the money for to go out and drink and just lose yourself for a couple hours over the weekend. But he realized that. He's like, this is just, a dumb guy that has made some dumb decisions. He didn't hurt anybody, but there's a possibility. So we got to give you the bare minimum. And I had to get a breathalyzer on my car. I had to do everything. But again, once I pulled out those papers and I was looking crisp and clean and respectful, it went better than I thought. I got a weekend program in jail. I turned myself in on Fridays and I left on Sundays. It was great. It wasn't great. It was jail. But it wasn't what I thought it was. So what I'm trying to say is that the what ifs, the fears we have about everything coming, everything negative coming, it doesn't matter what it is, everything in life, the thing in the job, or I'm not going to have this, I'm not going to have that, things are going to be different, change is coming, whatever it is. Our own fears are what blocks us from just seeing clear, not having that pit in your stomach just knotted up and making you sick at night to where you can't sleep. It'll dissolve that if you dissolve the what ifs. It's coming for you. Your DUI is coming for you. You got to face it, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine, I promise. I promise. Now, if it's something that has stuff attached to it, I can't make you some promises that it's not going to be the worst. But I can tell you that anything that we perceive as the worst, anything that I have perceived as the worst that's happened to me in my lifetime, has always been one of the best and most beneficial growing tools in my life. Everything bad, everything that was like terrible, that's the stuff that helped me grow. And I'm really hoping that that's going to be the stuff that helps everyone out there grow if you're going through any of this stuff. And you're going to see it and you're going to know it. You're not going to see it and feel it at the time, but once you get done with all that and you're thinking different and you're living different and you're just being different, you're going to know. And these things are only speed bumps. These are just speed bumps. They're just slowing you down. You're picking up too much momentum, too much speed. They can see this guy, this girl, this person, you know, they're going through it. They're going through life. They're doing good. Let's just slow them down a little bit. And they slow you down a little bit, one, to kind of protect you and society, but two, also because that is the growth we all need. Whether we want it or not, it's going to make you grow. So don't look at it like it's the end of the world. Don't look at it like it's, you know, the worst thing that ever happened. Is it the best thing that can happen to you? No. But it just might be. So, you know, don't beat yourself up too much. Don't throw in the towel. Go look this trouble in the eye. Face it. That's all you need to do. Just face it. Face it and see what it comes. It's not going to be too bad. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to get that out. Get that out of the way. Get another video out of the way. And think of something else to talk about some other day. In the closet. Is that new? I don't remember a red one. I bet that's new. But anyway, love you guys. Have a great day. Behave out there.